Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium on the campus of Snohomish High School for a crosstown soccer matchup. Girls soccer at Snohomish High School featuring the Glacier Peak Grizzlies and the Snohomish Panthers. I'm Mark Aucutt with Greg Sempadian, who joins me on the broadcast here at Snohomish in a beautiful, sunny Saturday night for their opener. These teams both getting started here this evening, and it couldn't be better weather for it. They've also got brand new field turf out there as you see the players coming out, the starters making their way out for both the Glacier Peak and Snohomish High School. Greg, you're a guy that's been around the area and was involved at athletics at Seattle University and other places on the West Coast, and now you're back in the area, and thanks for joining me on the broadcast tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, who will be the visitors in this game. Their head coach is Melinda Torrey. Her assistants are Christine Windrum, Dale Troop, and also Terry Ryan. Starting in goal, a senior, that's Sammy Fatkin. Also, midfielder will be Rebecca Rothschild. She's a senior. Starting as a forward will be junior Kimber Thomas. Also starting in forward position is a senior, Danny Simmering. Starting as a forward and defender, she'll mix it up, is a junior, Taylor Brom. Starting, and a friend of someone you know who will join us later in the broadcast, this is Emily Mikulski. She's a midfielder and just a sophomore. Also starting for Glacier Peak, a defender when she is a junior, that's Jacqueline Mendoza. Defender, senior, Marissa Johnson. Starts for the Grizzlies. Kaya Dayton is a defender, and she's a junior. Will go for the Grizzlies, as well as midfielders, junior Alyssa Jordan and sophomore Sydney Guffey. We'll take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with the hometown Snohomish Panthers starters right here on STSPN.com.
Who's brought stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Veterans Memorial Stadium on the campus of Snohomish High School. Mark Aucutt and Greg Sempadian with you here this evening for girls soccer. And I want to get you the starting lineups for the Snohomish Panthers. Getting the start in goal, how about this? A freshman, Grace Wales, going for the Panthers. Also a freshman, starting as a defender, it will be Mackenzie Green. Another defender, sophomore, Delaney Kaisner. And a junior midfielder, Madison Van Asche. She is the daughter of head coach April Van Asche. Senior midfielder, Anna Montemore, and also starting as a senior defender, make that midfielder, will be Quinn Otteson. Defender, junior, Callie Rosell will start for the Panthers. And starting as midfielders, you have Taylor Karami, a sophomore. Also midfielder, a freshman, Celia Foster, and senior Jordan Williamson, midfielder, as well as defender, and another freshman, Jenna Schuler. So you hear the freshmen on this team. There are 4 starting freshmen for the Snohomish Panthers as they lost 8 seniors from last year's team that finished the regular season 13-1-2. Didn't fare as well as they would have liked in the playoffs, but still had a great regular season. And this year, they are reloading, rebuilding, if you will, and we'll get to see that firsthand, bringing it to you live here on STSPN.com. And want to mention, too, that the ball girls are out there and all set to help out here this evening. They are from Snohomish United, and it is important to have them lining up on the sidelines because the balls go flying all over the place, and they look like they're united out there, ready to go. So Snohomish making their way out on to the turf. It is beautiful, Greg. Look at that brand new field turf here and the sun shining on it. Just a perfect setting tonight to get things going here on September 3rd in soccer.
Perfect night to kick off the season, Mark. We're looking forward to seeing what these two teams do tonight, and looking forward to a great rivalry tonight.
Snohomish is in the home whites out there. They've got red uniform numbers and letters. Glacier Peak is in their blue uniforms with the white lettering for the numbers, and we are getting set for things to get rolling tonight. We can take a look at the officials for the game. Center official is Kirsten Jones. The assistant referees are Josh Benish and also Peter Gerlach, and they're ready. They start. First kick underway, and Snohomish controlling to get things going here tonight. 40 minutes on the clock, and each half will be 40 minutes. As you see, Snohomish being on the offense right now, but being attacked. Good pursuit there by Glacier Peak.
It's going to be an intense night tonight, Mark. You can tell right away. They're going after each other right away on the sidelines.
So it goes out, and just getting things rolling tonight. We're going to actually try to talk to some people during the broadcast. As tell us a little bit about Amy there, that her connection with the Glacier Peak team, and then in the community too with the job that she has. Her full name, and Amy's going to join us a little bit later on.
Amy Mikulski, we work together at Seattle University in the athletic department. Her daughter Emily is a sophomore on the team, and definitely look forward to having her up here. She's working with Snohomish Youth Soccer League, and she's doing a lot of fundraisers for them. She loves working with youth soccer and making an impact in the kids' lives, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about the great fundraiser they have coming up in November.
A little bit back and forth there as Glacier Peak and Snohomish getting set, and you see Snohomish now will have a chance to, I don't know, they're going to go with a Glacier Peak's going to have the ball. Snohomish is going to set up defensively, and it just kind of going back and forth as far as getting the ball in, and it was knocked out a couple of times. That one a little further away. It is going to be a corner kick for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, and taking the corner kick is Kaya Dayton over on the right side. And this is one of those situations in soccer where it can make something happen perhaps. They try with the header. It doesn't work out in the middle as the cross comes loose, and it's cleared out of there. And now Glacier Peak tries to boot it back into the Snohomish end. Got to watch out for the offsides. And first night of the season, and especially with a young team that Snohomish has, they're going to be trying to work some things out. Good defensive play right there to break it up.
Great play on defense to stop that when the goalie came out of the box.
So just a couple of minutes into play here on STSPN.com. As we had an opportunity to come up, and traffic wasn't too bad coming up here today, and in a nice crowd out here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. They do a smart thing too. They sell the concession items right out front so that the fans don't have to leave the action to be able to go get the items, and also the people selling them get to watch the game. So it's a real win-win out here at the stadium.
It's such a great atmosphere. High school games, rivalry nights. It's so great to see such a great crowd out here on a Saturday night.
Glacier Peak will have the ball. And you see Snohomish and getting their instructions. Their head coach is April Banashi, and I'm sure it's been an intense camp, just trying to get them all up to speed as these freshmen have come in.
Coach Torrey also, she said it's going to be an intense night.
Oh, that shot just off the mark from the right side right there, but good pursuit on that time by the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Now we get the name. That taking the shot was the same person who had the corner kick. That was Kaya Dayton, the junior defender who just missed off to the left side.
This is Glacier Peak's first year in the 4A, so Coach Torrey said it's going to be a big change for them, but they're ready to go. She says they're a finesse team, and they're excited about controlling the ball tonight.
These teams flip-flopping, these schools, because Snohomish was 4A for a long, long time, and then Glacier Peak, which opened within the last decade, has been at the 3A level, but now it's gone the other way. So Glacier Peak enrollment has gone up, and Snohomish still solid enrollment over here, but they are in the 3A ranks, and so this does not count as a league game or a Western Conference League game. It's a crossover non-league game, and they have not played each other for a few years either. So and I know we've done several football games up here. There's bragging rights on the line.
Yeah, whenever it's a crosstown rivalry, Mark, you know there's always going to be a night you won't forget when they play each other.
That one slides out of bounds, and Snohomish will have the throw in, wasting no time there.
Glacier Peak's done a great job controlling the ball so far, keeping it on their side.
Yeah, they've been putting the pressure on the Snohomish Panthers, and we'll see if Snohomish can make something happen this time downfield as they finally cross over into the Glacier Peak end. Quinn Otteson with the ball, and there again you see Glacier Peak breaking it up. So we've seen that a couple of times here when Snohomish has tried to break through, and Glacier Peak has just stepped up and shut the door on them. You just got to be patient here too. But look at Glacier Peak with a tight defense out there.
Yeah, they're right on each man right now. They're doing a great job on defense. Trying to take the ball away right now.
Snohomish creeping a little bit closer, but then there's Glacier Peak to break it up. No score, 5 minutes into the first half here at Snohomish. On STSPN.com, big week for STSPN.com to get going, and what is going to be our best season yet of covering sports, best school year with enhanced technology, and also the amount of games we're covering, and hopefully the quality of broadcasters that we're bringing your way as well. Again, I'm Mark Aucutt along with Greg Sempedian. Am I pronouncing that right?
That's right, Mark.
Okay.
I'm really proud to be here with you. You're the Northwest legend.
Oh, stop that.
Just really proud to be next to you tonight.
As you know, you got to remember, I got Todd Elvig, our CEO and executive producer here, and he will just start laughing and throw me out of the booth if you throw me too many accolades like that.
Okay.
And so until I start paying him. All right, we got a free kick coming up for Glacier Peak. You see the score there, and we have it looks like we have actual time, real time. That's just yet another enhancement that continues to come our way from STSPN. Want to say hi to my girlfriend Debbie Larson, longtime squeeze, that is is viewing in Magnolia. We're going to open the phone lines up here, and we can actually maybe call her and see what she's thinking of how she can critique us and talk about her some of the roles she's had with our broadcast too. But Todd, now can we go ahead and call? We can call out, but can people call in too? They can call in. So we have a number that we can give out. Oh, he's going to work on putting that number on the screen. So we can actually talk to our viewers and listeners as this contest goes on. And we're all about talking about high school sports. I mean, I'm certainly going to do play-by-play. You can see what's going on the screen. So, but I want to get you the names when something big happens out here. But we really want to talk about high school sports throughout the broadcast, promote it. I've been thankful to be involved in it for about 25 years. A big chunk of that right up here in Snohomish County with Fox Sports 1380. And really having a lot of fun with STSPN the past few years as that will continue.
Just really proud to be a part of this, Mark. I mean, obviously I worked in college athletics so many years, and we don't even have a chance to have callers call in or call out and have critique during the matches on the air. So this is a first-class production. So proud to be a part of STSPN.
Great to have you here and getting on some of your background. You actually have been involved in sports at a number of levels. Starting, you went to the University of San Francisco, correct?
Yes, I did. I graduated from USF a long time ago, Mark, 1989, and worked there for about 15 years. I'm proud to be there, and was a proud Red Hawk at Seattle University for 5 years also, where I met you.
And you, when you started your career early on, you worked with the San Francisco Giants organization. Tell us a little bit about that as we see play going on in front of us here.
Yeah, the intense action. Referee stops the play on that one. Foul at midfield. Yes, I started with San Francisco Giants at Candlestick Park when Dusty Baker was there. I worked in community relations, and you know my love for sports, so many different areas and different teams, and definitely looking forward to being a part of the high school broadcasts up here with you.
Yeah, you froze a few nights out there at the Stick, didn't you?
Definitely very cold nights. Looks like we have
we do have an injury, so let's go ahead and take a look. Let's focus in on that right there. And, obviously you get the different kicks and things going on where people running into each other, and so we do have a player down. Why don't we go ahead and take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with more action here. There's 31:22 on the clock, and it's ticking here at Snohomish. No score between the Snohomish Panthers and the Glacier Peak Grizzlies here on STSPN.com. Jordan Williamson coming off the field, the senior midfielder, walking off on her own power. Always good to see that they don't have to be escorted or carried off the field. So she was escorted, but she walked off. So hopefully nothing serious. And sometimes it's just getting shook up and you run into players and such. And right now, about 30 minutes to go in our contest in the first half. No score between Glacier Peak, the visiting team, and the Snohomish Panthers here at Snohomish High School. First trip up to the stadium yourself, Greg?
Yes, it is a beautiful stadium, Mark. Just a physical game. You know what really surprises me watching soccer, that there aren't more injuries. It's such a physical game for 80, 90 minutes, and the kids just go after each other full time.
You know, the thing, too, that we've seen right from the get-go here tonight is a strong, fast pace. For those who think that soccer moves a little slow at times, we're not seeing that tonight. We're seeing definite attacking on both ends, good, strong. I've really been impressed with the defensive play and how close that Glacier Peak has been playing so far against these Snohomish players.
Really impressed with both teams also. Like you said, I've been in college athletics, and if I didn't know and I just walked into the stadium, I would think two college teams are playing right now.
That's a good observation right there. They don't look like these that other high school teams, albeit they're 4A high school teams, and 3A. So you got a good level of, but then also their programs are strong, both making the playoffs last year. So they know how to get after it. And then you throw in the crosstown matchup too.
Definitely, when it's a rivalry night, it's more intense all the time. And Glacier Peak just had a great clearance in front of the box on the other end.
That one is knocked out, and it'll be a throw-in for Glacier Peak. And we got things going with a couple of high school football games here the past couple of days on STSPN. They were at Bothell the other day. And folks, if you want to give us a call, we have operators standing by right now, and they will be standing until you call, and then they'll sit down, just like a telethon. So the call-in number is on your screen, 425. Oh, okay, I guess just we're seeing it. 425-583-9512. That's 425-583-9512. And want to let you know, too, parents and all viewers out there, that if you do like the broadcast, tell your school administrators and especially your athletics director, let them know how much you appreciate having these games on STSPN.com. And please add to the high quality of the broadcast if you think it is. I mean, we like to think that we're bringing you a very high quality broadcast and covering as much sports on the high school level as we possibly can. So again, give that number a call if you want to get on the air and talk about what's going on here. If you want to talk about sports or high school sports in general specifically, just give us a shout. And again, I called that number out as it was on the screen, but he'll put it up once again so I can write it down and then remember what it is. It's 425-583-9512 here on STSPN.com. We know we got a lot of people that tune in. You know, Greg, too, when we do these games, we get a lot of people that are viewing from all over the country, possibly the world, because they're relatives and friends of the players.
That's a great thing with the webcast and the live streaming, Mark, is that anyone, family members, relatives, former coaches, they can all watch these kids play and watch them their whole career through high school and college. It's really wonderful.
Call in and give a shout out to the player as well. So while I was there talking about the phone number and such, what did you see on the field out there?
Glacier Peak had a great corner kick on the other end, but now Snohomish is taking control, and they're taking their first corner kick of the night.
So they're going to also go from the right side, and air ball right there as she jumped over it, and Glacier Peak controlling or kicking it out of there, and then Snohomish, which is trying to get some pursuit on. We've had one shot on goal so far that was obvious earlier here in the match, and that was by Kaya Dayton, the junior defender. And it just went not too far off the mark, but a pretty good ball that just was maybe a couple feet outside the left post. Ooh, that could have been a mistake right there.
Yeah,
but
the tide's turned a little bit this last 5 minutes, and Snohomish is taking control now.
They sure have. There's a shot right there and a save. That is Madison Banashi with the shot on goal for the Snohomish Panthers, and Sammy Fatkin, who's in goal, senior, making a nice grab right there. It was a spot-on ball.
Yeah, it was a great shot right there. Their first shot on goal, I think, tonight.
So each team has one shot on goal. We are scoreless almost 15 minutes into the first half of a 40-minute half at Snohomish. The lights turned on just a few minutes ago after we got started, Greg, and now taking full effect. At least they're on, and then the sun has gone behind the houses to the west of us there because it doesn't set in the east. It's the same here in Snohomish as everywhere else. It does set in the west.
Like you said, Mark, it's a beautiful night tonight. Couldn't be a better night for this rivalry.
All right, we're getting some good feedback here, and just make sure we got your mic up and everything. We have, so we want to get you a little louder. There we go. So we have our audience just check there, and we're all set. We should be all set. So we have no score here. And Glacier Peak gets it down into Snohomish end. This is a great setup at Snohomish, too, as far as the facilities are concerned with this excellent stadium. The sight lines are perfect. They really had their act together when they designed the stadium and the press box, which we've used many times for football, too.
It's a beautiful stadium, Mark, one of the best I've seen, and a lot better than some of the high schools and colleges that I've been to, for sure.
Now, you were athletic director for about a year at Holy Names College University in the Oakland area, correct? Oakland, California.
Yes, Oakland, California. We didn't have football at all. We played soccer at some of the local college fields. We didn't actually have a field on campus. That's why I said it's beautiful to have a field like this for these teams.
And they had a full plate of sports there with soccer and volleyball, baseball.
Yeah, we had all those sports, golf, tennis, cross country. They actually kicked off their seasons this weekend, and you know me, I'm always texting or calling the coaches to wish them good luck. And like you said, with the rivalry tonight, you and I, near and dear to our hearts, there's a big women's soccer rivalry on Monday night at Seattle University at Championship Field. The Huskies against the Redhawks on Monday night.
There you go.
7 p.m.
And we just had the crosstown matchup between Seattle U and the University of Washington for volleyball on Thursday night, and I do public address for the Huskies, and it was fun to get over there and see the Connolly Center that has been completely redone at Seattle U. Is Snohomish with the ball right now, trying to make something happen in the Glacier Peak end. But for those of you that either have been to Seattle U through the years or gone to Seattle U, attended the school, the Connolly Center was built as a recreation center originally, and then they've had to modify it over the years to be able to accommodate the growth of the program moving up to Division I a few years ago. I think they completed that transition in 2012, if I remember right.
Yeah.
It's a 5-year transition, and that's something we can talk about too. Look at this. We don't want to lose track of what's going on the field either. Snohomish with the ball, and you see Glacier Peak perk up right there as Snohomish was getting close to the goal.
Glacier Peak's done a great job down by the goal line when they're getting close, but they're back on attack. But Snohomish is really dominating these last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, early on we didn't see Snohomish down in this end, and now Snohomish kicking it up a notch, and they're right tight on Glacier Peak. As this Snohomish is really reaching and trying to get that ball in the net. But as we talk about how the Connolly Center down there at Seattle U, which also has a full plethora of sports that I think they have 22 sports there.
I think they're 20 right now.
Okay.
Swimming they have. Always amazes me when I walk in there and we have the swimming pool on the second level of the gym. But they do a great job at Seattle U. Great staff, and it's a great bunch of coaches and student athletes to work with.
And they did, so people heading down there, when you get a chance to check out their gym, they did an amazing job in there with the space they had, and you would not know that it was what it was before. They've completely done an excellent job, and we know some of these students that are out here right now will eventually end up there or at the University of Washington or perhaps at Seattle Pacific University. As Snohomish going back and forth with Glacier Peak, nearing the 21 minutes to go mark in the first half.
Snohomish is really controlling the ball, like I said, the last 5-10 minutes. It looks like they're trying to get that ball in, but Glacier Peak still stops them when they get close to the goal.
Ooh, that was a nice try right there, but she lost control as a Glacier Peak player was right close. Now Glacier Peak
breakaway right there.
Breaking away, trying not to go off sides, and you got over on that side for Glacier Peak controlling the ball is Haley Grambo. Gave it a nice try.
goal kick for them right now for Snohomish.
And in goal for Snohomish is Grace Wales, just a freshman, ladies and gentlemen. Again, they have a total of 4 freshmen in the starting lineup tonight and 8 freshmen total. But there's a very good soccer program in the Snohomish area. I know out at Stocker Fields, and through the years I've actually done some events out there. They take a lot of pride in developing local talent here at Snohomish and giving a lot of kids a great opportunity to play the game and across the board in sports with the Little Dribblers program. But you go out there on these fields out here, and it gets real busy throughout the year.
No, it's great, the youth sports that they have out here, and when Amy comes up here, she'll talk to you about that and about some of the fundraisers that she helps to help raise funds for all the youth sports out here. It'll be wonderful for all of them.
Let's work on getting Amy up here as soon as we can. So I go ahead and send her the official request, and that is authorized by CEO Todd Alvig. And again, I'll tell the listeners it's great to work with Todd again. And we've been working together for about 4 or 5 years, initially through the simulcast with Fox Sports 1380, which will go on again this year and went on last night in the football game that was broadcast. Still no score. 0-0, Snohomish and Glacier Peak in the crosstown battle on this nice Saturday night. You know, starting to detect a little bit of chill in the air. And a little bit of a nip in the air tonight, and so we're wearing a little bit warmer clothes, and it's going to, well, you know what, we may see that, and then it may get to be 85, 90 degrees again with the way things have been going in the past few years. Not to suggest there's any global warming going on and changing weather patterns, but we will be welcoming. We're not going to talk to Amy about any of that. We're going to talk about soccer coming up here.
We got a chance to be here earlier when the sun was out, Mark, and in the JV game before, Glacier Peak won 3-0, I think was the final score.
Final score, Glacier Peak 3 and Snohomish 0. And so Glacier Peak gets off to a good start there with the victory. And again, there was a good crowd out here for that game.
Mm-hmm. Like I said earlier, the high school sports, I love seeing the support that the students get. It's so great to see that out here, and it's gets you fired up. I know you and I both get fired up when we're at games and matches all the time, but nothing's better when the stands are filled.
So true. Sammy Fatkin coming out of goal to get that ball as she'll put it back in play right now. I believe they can put about 5,000 in the stands here at Snohomish, and then there's certainly been a number of nights where we've seen people out on the grass in the west side or around the track on the east side. This place gets electric, especially this time of year.
That was a great save by Snohomish. She came out of the box and took the chance, and she got the ball.
And so we have Snohomish again with a save in goal, and then goal is Grace Wales. So kind of a soft shot coming in that time. Couple of shots on goal for Glacier Peak and one for Snohomish, Greg.
Glacier Peak starting to attack more now. It's Snohomish. It's going to be an intense match tonight, all night, Mark. It's going to go back and forth, it looks like it.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen so far. Early on, Glacier Peak controlling, Snohomish then kicking into gear. Now we're starting to see Glacier Peak trying to fight a little bit stronger to come back and break the deadlock, going towards the east end. Again, that's the attacking end there going on, and Snohomish going the other direction as the field is laid out east to west. And Glacier Peak's going to have the throw in across the way. Like the way they did the turf here too, Greg, with the 2 shades of green. Really looks high end. That one's going to fly away, as Dave Niehaus would say, and hit the Honda Element across the street. Sparing no expense on the field too. Want to say, just you look out there at that field, and that is an absolutely beautiful field as that ball went away from it, but we look out there, and I mean, I've actually seen through the years probably about 3 turfs laid here at Snohomish, and this is without a doubt, from a visual standpoint, the best, but then also from a composition standpoint, they really got it right.
I was just down in San Francisco, Mark. I told you they put a new field in at the University of San Francisco,
yeah.
And this one is way better than that one, I'll be honest with you. And you know I love USF, but this is a beautiful field.
They don't mess around up here in Snohomish, that's for sure. And of course, the joint school district with them coming together and with the levies to finance how that works, that really makes a big difference. And we're going to be proponents of voting yes for things like this. We're not going to be on the other side of the fence. So that's how we stand, because we know the importance in the activities. Now, Snohomish has the ball trying to come out of their own end. The activities for students to be involved in, and it doesn't have to be soccer. It doesn't have to be basketball. It could be band. It could be cheer. It could be debate. It could be a number of things that you can get involved in, and we love it. I mean, we know, too, Greg, in working a lot in college athletics, what it leads to.
No, it makes sense.
It leads to great things.
It makes such a positive impact in the lives of the students, and they deserve it. This is what they deserve to play on. They deserve to have the best facilities and the best equipment, and continue that in their careers, because a lot of these kids want to go on and play in college and hopefully pro one day also, maybe here for the Seattle.
Oh, look at this right here. She put a good pursuit on that ball. That's great hustle right there by the Snohomish player. Oh, excellent job. And down there, that is Celia Forster, just a freshman. Wow, great pursuit. She just excellent second and third effort.
Great play right there, definitely. They're really attacking on these last 10, 15 minutes now.
So we're going to have a substitution. Coming out of the match is Taylor Karami. And looking at coming in right now is Madison Van Asche, I think, came back in. Yep, Madison came back in. So actually the head coach, April Van Asche, has two daughters that play on the team. Madison is a junior. She is a midfielder. And Gracie is a forward. She's a freshman.
That always amazes me when the coaches have kids on the team. It's tough in one way, and it's an amazing experience another way.
Oh, yes. Snohomish with the throw, and here they are on the Glacier Peak end. Can they make something happen this time? Still tied at 0, and there's a left-footed shot towards the goal that time, taken by Jenna Schuler, and coming out, no problem making the grab on that one is Sammy Fatkin, but a little pressure put on that time, Greg.
They've had some great kicks, but right at the goalie, which is perfect when you're the goalie for the team.
Yeah, got to try a little deception out there to fake the goalie out, but at least taking a couple of shots. And I see that our guests have arrived, so we are going to welcome very shortly our spokespersons. And tell us who's joined us up in the booth here before we get rolling with that, Greg, at the 12:40 mark to go in the first half.
I'll be honest with you, Mark, two of the most special.
I thought you were going to say, to be honest with you, I have no idea who these two are. And call security. I'm kidding.
No, honestly, two of the most special, hardest working, greatest individuals, co-workers, friends that I've ever worked in college athletics.
Anything else you'd like to? I'm just kidding.
No, truly, straight from my heart. I think they both know that. Also, Amy Mikulski, we worked together at Seattle University for 5 years, was our administrative. Honestly, I think she was our assistant athletic director, because she pretty much ran the department, because without her, nothing would have got done. But she did the administrative work for the department, administrative coordinator. And Whitney Volosky, the greatest student assistant we've ever had, national anthem singer, biggest cheerleader for our soccer teams. All three of us did amazing events together at Seattle University, and excited to have them here tonight. Such a special surprise to be here for Emily's match tonight, and look forward to having both of them on the air so they can talk about all the great things they do for youth soccer.
I want to go ahead and figure out and get them set there to where you and I can both be on the air, and then also have them. And so we're going to go ahead and make sure that they're all set to go. So we're going to go ahead and welcome Whitney first of all, and then so we're going to talk about. And I know, hi Whitney, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having us.
Good to see you again, because I know in doing that public address at Seattle U myself for 3 years that you did the national anthem a number of times.
Did.
Thanks for doing that. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's always a great time.
Small world tonight. We all end up together here at Snohomish High School. And so far, no score. Observations. You a big soccer fan for one thing?
I am a big soccer fan. I was telling Amy earlier, I think this is the first time I've been to a high school game since I was in high school.
Oh, wow.
So it's a little bit of a change of pace to college soccer. It goes a little bit slower than I'm used to, but these are talented girls out here, and I'm out here supporting Emily, but all the girls out there are doing a really great job.
So Amy Mikulski's daughter, Emily, a sophomore, just a sophomore, and a midfielder. And so nice to be out here and get a chance to see how she's doing.
Yeah, she's great. We watched her play a few weeks ago at the Bigfoot tournament hosted by Snohomish United, and her team won the conference championship for her tournament, her bracket, and I think some of the girls on her team here for Glacier Peak were also on that tournament team.
I'm familiar with the Bigfoot tournament. I've actually been a DJ out there. This was like in the early 2000s, way back when. But I actually did, I think, about 3 years out there. Had a great time. And that is, and as referenced earlier, as to how youth soccer is just huge up here in Snohomish, and what a great job they did to do it at Stocker Fields. And
That's
it's
right.
the Bigfoot
down
tournament.
the street here from the high school we're at.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that, because I know they do a great job with it.
Yeah, they do. It's a 4-day tournament out there at Stocker Fields hosted by Snohomish United. Amy here is, sort of the event coordinator. She's been doing it for them this is your first year doing the tournament, but, she's been running the events there for them for a number of years now. And lots of teams, lots of fun camping, and we had a player social out there. Everyone was dancing, having a good time, and 4 days of fun in soccer.
That sounds great. Just keeping an eye on the play here. What's going on, Greg? You've been keeping an eye on that, and what are you picking up?
It's such an intense match tonight, Mark. I mean, obviously I'm biased because I want Glacier Peak to win with Emily. But
You're not supposed to say that. We're supposed to be neutral here.
I was neutral.
Then I'm picking Snohomish, okay?
Fine.
Let's balance this thing out.
We got a rivalry here.
But I think we have another coach in the box, too. I heard Whitney had some victories in this tournament. I don't know if she forgot to talk about that.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
Yeah, I assisted coached for Emily's tournament team there for Bigfoot. I'd never coached a soccer team before, but, we're been big soccer fan for a number of years.
Great.
So I think that if you watch enough soccer, then you can kind of...
You do learn.
Yeah.
I know that, and really, to be quite frank, I grew up playing a lot of baseball, and I'm not going to deny that baseball is my favorite sport, but I always kept track of soccer, or the Sounders, the original Sounders, were such a big deal that you got involved in it. And I enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed the game. And then as an announcer, certain things come my way to be able to do this, and as you do it more, as you get involved in it, you get to know the game better.
Yeah.
And start appreciating the nuances of what takes place out there.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a sport that has a lot more skill and dedication needed than just kicking a ball, and a lot of people don't realize that till they have a chance to take the time to really appreciate it.
Yeah, and in different segments of the field too, you have to do it a certain way to make sure that it coordinates. I mean, that's a big field out there. To coordinate with the other, like a defender and a midfielder and a forward, they have to work in concert to know where each other is.
Exactly. Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that soccer at the high school level, they're playing on a field just as big as collegiate, and they're young girls, and they're out there and they're taking up the whole field, and they're using it to their advantage.
We were talking about how beautiful the field is, and first night for these teams to play on it.
Yeah, Emily was telling me that this is a bit of a rivalry game here between
yeah.
Snohomish and Glacier Peak. So, it's beautiful out here. We're, catching the sunset, and the field is beautiful, and it's nice and warm and perfect for the first game of the season.
They talk about Friday night lights for football, but this is definitely Saturday night lights for soccer.
Yeah.
And soccer's huge, and you really have to look at it as soccer being in the Northwest. It is the hotbed. It is the capital of soccer in America.
Oh, definitely.
No doubt.
Yeah.
We say that with pride because we know we're right.
Exactly. Yeah, I grew up playing soccer. I don't think I know anyone that grew up in the Pacific Northwest that didn't at least try to play soccer at some point when they were a kid.
I'll put it that way, but they said get back in the batter's box. Then I struck out there, and they said, okay, try basketball. But no, you're absolutely right. When the Sounders came in 1974 in the North American Soccer League, it just erupted on the scene, and I can vividly remember as a toddler at that time that seeing, but as a young person, seeing just how quickly people adapted to it. And I don't know, it just was the right fit. Might be the weather, because you can play it in the rain. And that's one of the things I love about soccer, is that You don't generally see people whining out going, I'm not playing, we got to shut it down because it's raining.
People complain when you have to shut it down for the lightning.
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you, being from the Bay Area in San Francisco, the fan support up here is the greatest I've ever seen. It's absolutely amazing to see CenturyLink packed every match.
Yeah, they just played against the Portland Timbers a couple of weeks ago there, and they had 53,000. And they've had a sellout there before, which would be about 66,000 for those matchups. And it's just unreal. And it's the Cascadia connection of Seattle, of course, being number one. At least that's what I think. Number one when they are attendance-wise. And then Portland's amazing what they do down there. And then Vancouver.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. And then you look at these young players out here as we still see them kind of in between, if you incorporate the football markers in there, playing a little bit between the 30s right now. But these players, you're going to see players at this level then move on and have an opportunity to play. We talk about the college level.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing that is great about the Pacific Northwest is that I think the pro teams up here really put a focus on homegrown players. You know, they really scout these high school teams and these youth club teams that we have up here, and they pull some great talent.
4:26 left in the first half. Still no score, as you see. This is STSPN.com, your home for a great high school sports broadcast throughout the entire year. We'll also have college on again this year. Home of the NWAC tournament for basketball for the second year in a row coming up in March. And that was a lot of fun, too. It's fun, too, this time of year because, and I know just this past week and the past few days, being on the college campus at Seattle U at the University of Washington here tonight, that's the last 3 nights. Just that energy level. Greg, chime in here, too, of what happens when you get to this time of year.
It's the best time, you know. I text the coaches the other night, opening night, it's the best night of the year, and same thing tonight, seeing these two teams play. It's such
Well, she almost got the 3-point field goal there. She hit the the post. That was a pretty good shot in itself. Go ahead.
But you know, I really love to hear Whitney and Amy talk about the impact they're making in youth sports out here and the fundraisers they've been working on and the great events. And we'd love to hear about that and some information. I know you have a big one coming up in November, and we want to get the support out here as much as we can.
We're going to get Amy on too, aren't we? She's not leaving the booth without us getting her on.
She can't hide from us.
She's not going to hide because she's now you've been working as her PR liaison in this broadcast so far. and so what do you do career-wise? I know you were involved at Seattle U, and obviously I know you're a great anthem singer. But what else career-wise do you do?
Right now I'm actually transitioning into graphic design, doing some design. I designed the logo for the Bigfoot tournament this year.
Wow.
I'm going to be doing some work with some local sports apparel companies here, and you know, getting some stuff done.
Oh, there's a goal right there in the net.
Glacier Peak.
Glacier Peak is on the board. Let's get the official.
Nothing better than watching the kids celebrate, Mark. That's my favorite part of soccer. Every celebration is different.
Let's get did you I can see and recognize, but I want to get the okay, God, that's what I thought.
They said number 8 was Emily, but
that's
that was
Taylor
a misquote.
Brom. Taylor Brom with the goal. She is a junior defender, so Taylor Brom scoring the goal at looks like the 2:15 mark, and so Glacier Peak is on the board. Greg, that was a nice bit of work right there.
They took control. It looked like it was all Glacier Peak players right down by the goal. I'm not sure where the Snohomish defense was, but obviously, like I said, that was fine with me. That was a great celebration down there, Mark.
So they are up 1-0. Again, mentioned that the junior varsity won by a score of 3-0. Glacier Peak over Snohomish, as the goal good by Taylor Brom.
It's going to be an intense night, especially the second half, Mark, with the rivalry going on. Let's get back to hear more about the fundraiser and what you're both doing and how we can support and get all the information out for all of you so we can build and raise as much money for youth sports out here.
Well, Amy and I work together on these fundraisers. We do 2 fundraisers a year, one for Rush Soccer and one for Snohomish United youth soccer. One is in November and the other in February. They're both out here at
here comes Snohomish the other direction, trying to tie right there, but not going to happen on that stretch.
Great defense on that one.
Yeah, they're both hosted out here in Snohomish at Thomas Family Farms. So it's it's a great local location, beautiful out there. We can get a lot of people in there. And,
Nice.
We always have a lot of fun.
That's good. So we are going to also talk to Amy as we move along here, and that'll be now. You're staying. Don't worry about.
Oh,
No,
I'm not. I can't sneak out yet.
No. But I mean, we're going to transition to her in here in just a little bit. But it is important that the awareness is there for people to be able to support these teams. They got to buy uniforms. They got to buy shoes. They got to buy. They got to get to tournaments too. That's the other part of it.
Yeah, these auctions that we do every year, the proceeds go to the clubs. They go towards scholarships for the players so that they can, afford to play on the teams, and uniforms, and, all of youth soccer is expensive.
The clock is at 2 minutes. Are we in some type of stoppage time?
Is there stoppage time in high school
there
soccer?
was a stoppage time.
Not in the first half, I don't think.
No. I don't think there's any stoppage time, unless they're catching something up here. But okay, so 2 minutes to go. They're just going to play on unless they're just catching the clock up.
The only thing I could think of is when the injury was, they didn't stop the clock for the injury.
Oh, that might have been it. They didn't stop the clock. That's right.
They stop the clock and they keep it on the field at 2 minutes.
At 2 minutes, they keep it on the field. Okay, there we go. So
now that we have the youth soccer expert.
Now you see, there she is.
Keep you in suspense.
So we are in the final 2 minutes. So that is kept on the field in high school soccer, and we're going to actually welcome Amy in here. Let's go ahead and we're not done with you, Whitney, but we'll get Amy Mikulski in here to talk about what's going on from her direction there with the Snohomish United.
Well, like Whitney said.
Well, first of all, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
And I think we're at halftime. We are at halftime. So the first half has come to an end, and our score is Glacier Peak 1 and Snohomish nothing. And we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk more here at halftime as we'll have Amy and front and center at halftime right here on STSPN.com.
Videofied creates the ultimate outdoor protection system on batteries. The OMV is a totally wireless detector camera that can be installed anywhere without wires or power cables. When the motion sensor detects an intruder, the OMV sends video alerts of what caused the alarm to a central station for immediate review and dispatch. Videofied delivers faster police response and protects remote assets by helping law enforcement catch the bad guy. Videofied creates the ultimate outdoor protection system on batteries. The OMV is a totally wireless detector camera that can be installed anywhere without wires or power cables. When the motion sensor detects an intruder, the OMV sends video alerts of what caused the alarm to a central station for immediate review and dispatch. Videofied delivers faster police response and protects remote assets by helping law enforcement catch the bad guy.
We want to thank our presenting sponsor for tonight's broadcast here on STSPN. That would be Champion Security Solutions. Thank you so much for being a part of what we do and bringing the great area, the world actually, high school sports. Tonight we're at Snohomish High School, and Snohomish is the home team. Glacier Peak is the visitor. Even though they're from the same school district, somebody's got to be the home team. This stadium is on the campus of Snohomish High School, and they're getting set for the second half kickoff, and we are underway for the second half. It is 1-0 Glacier Peak. They scored 37 minutes, 35 seconds into the first half, and that was Taylor Brom coming through with the goal, so they lead it 1-0. Junior varsity won for Glacier Peak 3-0. And I'm Mark Aucutt with Greg Sempedian. Also on the broadcast is Amy Mikulski and Whitney Voloski. We got a four-pack going here, and happy to have our guests in with us. I'm going to go right to Amy. And Greg, we are happy to have her here with us. She is involved with Snohomish United. We get a chance now, Amy, to talk about that a little bit more. And before we go there, I do want to say, just to reset the stage, we've got Snohomish in the white, They are defending the goal to the west side of the stadium, and Glacier Peak in the blue. Glacier Peak is going to take a corner kick over from the right side right now.
On the attack right away to start the second half, Mark.
Doesn't work out there as it kind of gets by a couple of Glacier Peak players. And now Snohomish going to go the other direction. Let's see what the Panthers can do here. Good job. And she's got a good one going right there. Is up ahead and taken away, though, but a nice pursuit put on by the Snohomish player. And that, by the way, I want to mention her name because she's not on the varsity roster. It is Gracie Winders. She's a freshman that was called up from junior varsity. It's like bringing a major league player from AAA. Yeah. So she's a what now?
Guest player.
She's a guest player. Yes, she is. And there again, there's that Whitney Velosky humor, and they just stepping right in to get it done. So Amy, while we have a brief stoppage and play out there as they get set, tell us about your role in soccer up here in Snohomish County and what you're doing with Snohomish United.
Well, I work for Snohomish United, and I help run all of their local tournaments. We do 2 youth tournaments a year and 1 adult tournament. And then I also run their big fundraiser. They do an auction every year, and this year it's going to be on Saturday, February 25th. We raise money to help kids who otherwise couldn't afford the programs that Snohomish has so that they can also play.
That's great. Where will that fundraiser be?
It's at Thomas Family Farms down here in Snohomish.
That sounds really good. And is this an annual fundraiser that the organization has?
Yes, we do it every year.
That's great. So how long have you been with Snohomish United?
Actually, I just started with them this summer.
That's fantastic. So, but you know what? I know you've been involved in sports for a number of years. We first come in contact, and Greg, you can take it from here with your work at Seattle University.
Amy interviewed me on my job interview.
Oh, she did? And you still got hired?
I didn't know that.
Definitely the reason I came to Seattle U was. And I don't know, I think we coordinated probably over 200 events together over the time I was there. It was an amazing experience and greatest event coordinator that I've ever worked with, and we would have never been able to succeed the way we did without her. And I know she's making that same impact here with youth sports, and I know she has a big event coming up in November, too, if you want to tell us a little bit about the November one.
Yeah, Amy, go for it.
Well, actually, that one is for Washington Rush, and that's another local soccer club up here. And same sort of thing. It's an annual auction that we do to raise funds for our scholarship program with that club as well. And that's going to be November
11th.
Friday also at Thomas Family Farms.
Okay, so Thomas Family Farms. So that's that's right up here, Thomas Family Farms. I think I've been there at some point in
it's
time.
where
on
they
Marshall
do
Road.
Zombie paintball every Halloween.
Okay.
There. That's how most
Todd's
people know it.
Todd. You'll see him out there playing zombie paintball.
Yes.
and you guys got to meet the CEO and executive producer Todd Elvig, and I want to give also thanks to Josh Elvig, who was here helping in the first half, and then also Jesse McLean on camera here tonight. But so, what do you think of the setup here from this angle up in the press box?
It's pretty cool. You can actually see the whole game from up here.
Nice view.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys, Greg and Amy, were involved with over 200, and I know, and seeing you there, that there's a lot of detail that goes into that.
A lot of detail.
Yeah.
A lot of detail. A lot of stuff people don't know unless you're behind the scenes.
Yeah, and that's the other side of athletics and college athletics, and so like banquets and various types of events that you just share with us a little bit about some of the different types of events that you guys worked on together.
Oh my goodness. A lot of fundraising events, a lot of events honoring alumni that went through Seattle U, a lot of auctions like I'm doing for the local soccer clubs now. Hall of Fame events. Gosh, what are the
Golf
other ones?
tournaments.
Oh, golf tournaments. Oh, yes. Lots of those. Yes.
Yeah, we started some of the first events ever at Seattle U with the Meet the Red Hawks dinner we did when they brought baseball back, and the Hall of Fame dinners honoring everyone, but also basketball had a big, women's basketball had a big fundraiser that they did.
Wine, cheese, and chocolate.
Wine, cheese, and chocolate. So we really invented some great events and that they've continued on with and have raised some great funds for the student athletes there that definitely needed during the transition.
Yeah, as they went from, was it Division II to Division I, and that's a 5-year transition process. Just focusing on the game there a little bit, some pressure put on by Glacier Peak, and moving it forward that time was, let's see, Jacqueline Mendoza, I think, was out there with the ball. And then your daughter plays on the Glacier Peak team.
She does, yes. She's a midfielder.
So you are officially a soccer mom.
Oh, for a long time now. Yes.
I want to, and I bring that up simply because there's a lot of dedication that goes with that, and with all of us being around sports a lot. Hey, first, thank you, because I know you've been out on virtually 7 days a week at times, and being involved in that. And how many children do you have?
3, and they all play soccer.
They
Yep,
do.
yep.
Okay.
Both my boys played for Glacier Peak. They've graduated now, so
wow.
She's my last one. Yep, playing soccer.
Did you know Todd from before? Because his Todd's son Jacob is a senior playing football at Glacier Peak.
Well, Tyler played football for Glacier Peak too. He was a kicker until he hurt his foot. So.
Mikulski. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the light will come on at about 2 o'clock in the morning. He'll go, oh, I remember him. We all have those moments. Just, again, we're a little over 6.5 minutes into the second half. Glacier Peak leads 1-0 on a goal in the first half. And glad to have our guests up here and talking soccer, talking what's going on with Snohomish United. As far as people involved, how many people are benefit from or involved in the organization for Snohomish United?
For Snohomish United, wow, we give out probably close to 100 scholarships.
Wow.
Every year. It helps fund the rec program as well as the select program. And then Snohomish also runs a top soccer program for kids who have special needs so that they can also participate in the game of soccer. And so it almost fully funds that program.
That's great. Mm-hmm. It's just uplifting to hear. And obviously you've been up in this area for some time, and the commitment there and now being involved. And did you play soccer when you were younger?
Never.
Not
until my kids got into it.
Well, how did they, again, for parents out there, because we want to encourage as much of this as we can. As Snohomish, here they come. Can they make it happen? Glacier Peak going to break it up once again, as that one's going to go out on the end right there. And did Glacier Peak touch it last? I think they may. No, they did not. It's going to be a goal kick right here, so keeping you on top of the action again on that brand new field turf here at Snohomish High School. So how did they get involved? When did it start? Was your husband involved in it?
No, it was peer pressure at school.
Oh, peer pressure.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And my daughter really had no choice at all because her brothers were always on the soccer field, so I think she just thought that's what you're supposed to do. So
Sure. Now Snohomish with the ball again, trying to tie this one up. It's 1-0 with Glacier Peak leading with 31-38 to go in the second half, and broken up right there. A good foot to it by the player for Glacier Peak.
Amy, for the event in November, you or Whitney, is there any way the fans listening or families listening and watching tonight that they can help or support or attend the event?
Absolutely. They can visit either one of the organization's websites, and there's contact information and more information on both events, how to purchase tickets, how to donate if you want to just donate goods or services to the auction.
Good physical contact right there, and Glacier Peak coming away with it briefly, and that with the ball right there was Kaya Dayton, who scored the goal earlier. Go ahead. So people can get on and check the websites out. Can you give those website addresses out for us?
Yeah, so Washington Rush is just washingtonrush.com. And for Snohomish United, which is more of our local club here, it's snohomishyouthsoccer.org.
Great. And then offices, whereabouts are you located at?
Snohomish, they have their fields and their office right down here in Snohomish.
Great.
Yeah.
Now that one goes out. We got another corner, Greg?
I think
Or
so.
close to it. Yeah, I think so.
Can see where it went out on that one.
So we got a Glacier Peak player heading right over there to get set to launch this one in and try to see if they can get their second goal of the game.
I think
For
this
Glacier Peak, that is Lexi Jandro, defender, senior. Did not start, but she's got the corner kick coming up, so we'll focus tight on that here for just a second. Doesn't get where she didn't have anybody to get contact with it. And for Snohomish, the freshman coming out of goal, Grace Wales, to grab the ball, and now they go the other direction as Glacier Peak will catch up to it. And you know what, Greg, we know what a ringer is, right?
Uh-huh.
When you bring somebody in who's good, that the other part of the lineup, or you don't announce that player is going to be there. Then all of a sudden this great player comes in. I'm going to go with Amy being a ringer. Are you kidding me? She's going, I don't want to go on the air. I just no, I can't. Are you listening to her?
I know. I told
she
you.
sounds like a natural.
I told you she's the greatest.
She was sandbagging us. She's a ringer.
I would have never survived.
Whitney brought a ringer. She sounds great on air. Are you kidding me?
I would have never survived those 5 years without her at Seattle.
Yeah, I know. You've always said great things about her, and she sounds really good. But between the two of them, and it really is fun to have them on with us here. And, of course, the appearance fee that Todd pays doesn't hurt either.
Oh, right.
We'll put that towards the youth.
Bag of chips, yeah. That's it right there. So, again, we're here at a 1-0 score. Glacier Peak on top. I'm Mark Aucutt with Greg Sampedian. And we're going to hopefully be doing this again some more as we move through the school year. And it's just we got another one coming up on Tuesday. So and then volleyball on Thursday, and then back to football on Friday on STSPN.com. So keeps you busy and people engaged.
No, you do an amazing job on there, Mark. I've told you that many times. And all the different sports you cover and the knowledge you have, it's an honor to be in the booth with you, and especially.
Don't be stroking him too much.
Yeah, you're getting a warning there. Don't be saying too many kind things about me. Again, soccer going 80 minutes, 2 40-minute halves, and at 2 minutes they keep the score on the field. So we are still got a long ways to go, and this is where Snohomish is going to make a couple of substitutions here. In for Snohomish.
New goalie coming in.
Will be Rachel Groom. You've also got a new goalie. That'll be Ellie Everett, who's a sophomore. So they have Grace Wales, who's a freshman, and Ellie Everett, who is a sophomore, a young goaltending core. And then you also got Raven Mummy coming in. She's a freshman. So they're, again, working those freshman players in. Snohomish with 8 of them on the roster. That's how you get good, though. You get that young talent in there.
Talent. Yep.
Now, Whitney, now that Amy is completely stolen the stage from you. No, I'm kidding. You guys are great. But one of the things I want to talk to you about, too, and this is an interesting let's try this from a different interesting angle. This preseason, Colin Kaepernick has been not standing for the national anthem. And, I think there's that, and I'm not going to get political per se here, but although I know that one has the right not to stand for it, but you sing and have done the national anthem a lot in your life. I know a lot. We saw it at Seattle University. And how is that to get up there and sing the national anthem?
The first couple times, it's pretty nerve-wracking. The very first time I sang it was at a men's soccer game with all of my friends on the field, and they go, we were just down at Bakersfield, and the girl forgot the words. And I go, thanks
right before
so
you
much.
Went out,
right
then.
before I went out to sing my first anthem on 9/11, too. So big game. But the more you do it, the more you get comfortable, and you learn how your voice sounds and the little, peaks and the tricks that you can put in there, and you just kind of make it your own, and you have fun with it.
Yeah, and I think what you just said there, just getting your own style to fit, and how it sounds in the building and everything. Because obviously, you're singing, and now a cappella is usually what you do. Or have you done it with a band before?
No, I've never done it with accompaniment.
But
singing in a gym. I sang for the men's basketball team at Seattle at Key Arena. That's way different than singing at the Conley Center where the women play, which is way different than singing on Championship Field where the soccer teams play.
I mean, everything's different acoustically, and even outside, just the sound carrying it away.
Yeah, the echoes that can really trip you up.
Mark, if it's okay if I jump in, I know the passion that Amy and I both have for being as close to the action. I know she really wants to go back down and be with her family and watch Emily the rest of this match. So I know.
Totally understand.
So I just want to thank her. Whitney's welcome to stay if she'd like, but I know Amy wants to get down there with her family and see her daughter.
No, Amy, we didn't mean to keep you too long. You did a great job up here. Oh, and a Snohomish
equalizer.
So Snohomish has tied this one up. We'll get the official score on that. As Snohomish is able to make it a 1-1 game at 15 minutes into the second half. Go ahead, if maybe Amy, as you're checking, or Greg, you can check with the press, with the PA booth and the official goal on that. I think I caught who it was, but there was a couple of them just happening, kind of crowding around each other. And we also like to make sure we have it officially and see if there is an assist on that. I always wait when I'm doing public address to make sure we have everything confirmed. Thanks again, Amy. We really appreciate it, and best of luck with Snohomish United. So it's you and I, Whitney.
It's just the two of us now.
Yeah. So here we are, and I'm trying to remember if we talked about, you've been involved in some coaching, but did you say you played when you were younger then?
When I was very little, probably, 2 years, when I was 7 and 8.
Corner kick, and a goal!
And it's a goal!
And Glacier Peak is back on the board.
That was
just
a sneaky
like that.
one.
A minute after Snohomish scored, Glacier Peak pops it in, 26-minute in at the 24-minute to go mark, and we'll get that official name on the Glacier Peak goal that they just got. So we'll keep Greg. That's why he stays in such great shape. So Glacier Peak scoring, and just go ahead. The Snohomish. Okay, did you find out on that?
Number 8.
Okay, I thought it was. Okay, for Snohomish, their goal number 8 on the roster here. That's Anna Montemore. Anna Montemore, who is a senior, put that in for Snohomish, and we'll get the official goal for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies as they just confirming on that too. And it is 2-1 Glacier Peak. Each team scoring here in the second half. Glacier Peak scored in the first half to get that lead early on. So, Greg, go ahead and put the sets on there, and another shot on goal towards Snohomish. And each team had 5 shots on goal here in the match. So, Greg, you got the confirmation on the goal for Glacier Peak.
That was a quick one. I didn't even get back to the booth, Mark. It was Haley Grambo, number 22 for Glacier Peak.
Haley Grambo did not start the match. She's a freshman. Make that sophomore forward. Sophomore forward, Haley Grambo. And so it is 2-1 Glacier Peak. Yeah, just all that action. And that's the thing about soccer and why you got to not look away. And sometimes I'll look away and talk to the person on the air with me, and it's like, oh gosh, it can happen so quick. And as you saw,
it's the worst feeling. Yeah. Yeah, I was up in Vancouver for the Women's World Cup last year. Missed Abby Wambach's goal by about 30 seconds. So disappointing.
Oh, wow. So you actually saw the game, went up for that.
Yeah, I was there for the group play. I didn't make it up for the final, unfortunately.
Still, that's great. I thought about going up there, and then I was for the final. And then I saw the ticket price, and I just thought I'd watch it on TV instead. And the final was incredible when they scored all those 4 goals in 16 minutes.
Yeah, Carly Lloyd, she's incredible.
Yeah, and I mentioned too that, and I'll get a plug in here for this since I'm involved with the National Women's Soccer League, which would be the Seattle Reign FC. And they're making a push for the playoffs, and Snohomish is making a push for a goal right there. Heavy pursuit on, and the Snohomish, it was actually Glacier Peak coming in that time, and now Glacier Peak backing up defensively.
Definitely an intense rivalry. These last 21 minutes, Mark, are going to be intense.
Yeah, Snohomish trying to tie it up, so they've got the ball in the Glacier Peak end, and they're down 2-1 here.
Yeah, they definitely got fired up after they scored their first goal, and then when Glacier Peak came back for the equalizer, you can tell they're starting to get a little more aggressive out there.
Yeah.
We were talking about that with the celebrating. Like Whitney and I have been on the sidelines. Sometimes when you're watching soccer, you'll hear the players yell, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Just to stay focused, that 5 minutes right after a goal, where sometimes you're celebrating, you let down on defense, and the other team comes right back, and Glacier Peak definitely did that tonight.
Yeah. You've got to just get ready to go right away, because that's when – and there's a lot of times it's like an icebreaker. One goal is scored, and then suddenly, because teams are like – they're just like letting the air out of a balloon, they let that release. Maybe they lose a little focus, and then the other team comes right back, as we witnessed there of Glacier Peak scoring the goal. And I was going to mention about Seattle Reign FC. They're making a push for the playoffs, and they will have their final regular season home game at Memorial Stadium. That will be a week from tomorrow, Sunday, September 11th, and they host Washington. And we'd like to see a huge crowd out there. We had about 6,000 out there last week when they played against Portland and came away with a 3-1 victory. Have you been down to see a Reign game?
I have not seen a Reign game, and I feel awful about it. Every year I always make plans to go and then just kind of flake out on it. Yeah, September. I will have to make my way down there.
It's a tough day too, because hopefully the National Women's Soccer League works a little harder at it next year, in that they scheduled it on the opening day of NFL football, but they did put it at 6. Well, there's Sunday night football too, but the Seahawks are playing. but still it's after Seahawk football, so one can get to Memorial Stadium, and the crowd's a bit different too for soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of us cross over, but there's a lot of people that are diehards that may watch a little football, but they're going to watch a lot of soccer that night there.
Especially for women's soccer, you're
Yeah.
pretty diehard if you follow the women's team as well as the men's teams. And Seattle's got great women's teams, and the women's national teams are really starting to get more popular.
Exactly. Sounders women doing another great job this year in their play, which is about a U23 level. And then the Seattle Reign winning the Shield for the league the last 2 years, getting to the championship game, unfortunately losing the last 2 years. And I think, too, for women, just to see the growth of youth sports, and, Greg, too, for both of you, just to see how soccer and volleyball and basketball for young girls and women over the past 10 to 15 years has been really very gratifying to see.
Yeah, they said the Olympics this year that if you just counted the medals that were won by the American women, that they'd have the third largest number of medals from the entire games. The women's American women's athletics is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is really. It's so competitive. And one of the things I love about it is the fact not only is it the competitiveness has always been there, the skill level has been increasing. And with each year, you see something that might be an enhancement, something a little bit different to improve the game. Is that Glacier Peak putting pressure on Snohomish, trying to break it up, and they do. They get the job done down there. But also, one of the things I really enjoy about girls' sports, and Greg, I know you observe this too, is that the enthusiasm, the genuine enthusiasm, and kind of an underdog mentality of not taking it for granted.
Sure. Mark, we were talking a little earlier about, different things, and you brought up Colin Kaepernick, and I just want to say a personal thank you to Hope Solo. You were talking about the rain and everything, and, she's been such a legend up here in the Northwest, and I had an opportunity to meet her personally in the Bay Area, and honestly one of the nicest people I've met. She talked, signed autographs for all the kids. I went to a rain game matches a couple years ago, and same thing. And she's going through a difficult time right now, and it's sports is such an important part of people's lives, and obviously the three of us talking up here, and Amy with her daughter, and you try to be role models, and there's going to be days where you're so intense and you care so much that something comes out that you might not want to say, but it's all in the heat of the battle. And not sure when she'll be playing again or if she will be, but she made a big impact up here with the rain and also with the U.S. national team, and just proud to know her and meet her.
Yeah, and you did a good job of sending me the picture of you two together, because I haven't had a chance to get that up close and personal with her. But I know you guys were together, and you've got a chance to get to know her from a different perspective, and too, yeah, like you say, in the heat of battle, some things come out, and part of it is just her intensity.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm a person that goes with emotion, and sometimes it gets away from you a little bit. And we do want things to work out because athletically, she's just absolutely had an amazing career.
Yeah, she's absolutely phenomenal. She's been playing with them for years and years, and I'm going to be sad to see her leave the national team, but I'm excited to see what great new up-and-comers we have that can play keeper. She's been with them for so long. We haven't had really any opportunity to see any other national team keepers. Yeah,
and the thing with the Seattle Reign, and Hope said this the other day, that when she watched the Seattle Reign FC game, our goalkeeper, Haley Kopmeyer, who is very good, has been, and when Hope's been gone last year for the World Cup and this year for the Olympics, Haley has done a tremendous job in goal, got the win the other day in the 3-1 win over Portland, and she's also the goalkeeper instructor for the Sounders women. So she is one of those up-and-coming players that I'd love to see her on the Olympic team, on the national team.
Yeah, I thought that was great what Hope said about her, and she said she watched the match, and she's really proud of the efforts she's made, and that she has no doubts that she'll lead the Reign to victory against the rest of the season for them. Yeah, and so that the torch may be gently getting past her. I know Hope, I'm sure, would like to be back, but right now she's stepping away. But you do like to see as the veterans move along, and we've seen that too with Abby Wambach and different ones, and they're not going to be around forever. What we see out in front of us right here, what our viewers see on the screen, like right there as the pursuit on by Snohomish. Nice passes. He got it through. Can this happen here? Look at this right there for the Snohomish Panthers. Handling the ball right there was Gracie Van Asche, the freshman daughter of the head coach, and
Snohomish getting the crowd a little excited. Now Glacier Peak gets the ball back. It is still 2-1. Glacier Peak leading against Snohomish, and 14:30 to go in the second half. So time's starting to become a factor, and we'll get back to just the development of these players. Now, was it the girls you coached there at the Bigfoot tournament, or did you coach both?
Yeah,
Boys and
no,
girls?
just girls.
Okay.
Emily, put together a team of her friends from some different schools, some different clubs. That's another great thing about youth soccer in this area is that it really brings together, players from different high schools, from different clubs, and it's really a really tight-knit community. So
It sure is.
I didn't have to do a whole lot. They went out there and they knew exactly what they were supposed to do. I called them out for subs and put them back in when they needed to, and
what a
it
great
was all
experience
them.
for
Yeah.
you too. I mean, that's really good to be able to get out there and like talking about with the Bigfoot tournament. And again, I've been involved from the music side of it. It is fun. It's summer camp. They camp. They do the whole bit. Curfew. The whole and people sneaking out. And flirting with each other and stuff like that. But it is a great summer camp out there.
Yeah,
Not just
it
for
is.
soccer, but for camaraderie.
Yeah, and great weather too. It does, because of the the August heat, it does feel just like summer camp, and it was nice to be out there, not only coaching Emily's team, but also working at the tournament with Amy and getting to see the players making friends and being competitive on the field, but being friends off the field.
So now, just when you were doing the anthem, when I was at Seattle, you were a student at the time. Is that correct?
Yeah, for the first 3 years that I sang the anthem,
Yeah.
I was a student.
And what'd you major in?
Art.
Oh yeah, graphic design. 'cause
Graphic
that's
design.
What you're talking about doing,
I
yeah.
was a fine art major,
Okay.
and I was a cheerleader my freshman year. That's how I got involved in athletics.
Oh wow, that's
got an
great.
injury and wasn't able to continue, and that's when Greg and Amy hired me on to be their student assistant. And Amy actually, I just walked into the office one day and she handpicked me and said, "Do you need a job?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And the rest is history. Here we are now.
I'm glad they did, because you have a genuine enthusiasm, and that's something that is so important in sports. You can't fake it, and
Yeah.
so again, that's it's great that they were able to get you involved, and then you're now doing graphics art, developing in that with sports apparel and stuff, and so wishing you the best on
Thank
that
you.
too. And Greg, we're going to keep her here, but we just want to take a look at as we have Glacier Peak. Snohomish is going to throw it in across the way. It's getting to where we're under 12 minutes.
Yeah.
They down 2-1. They've had some good pursuit and pressure put on, but you got to put one in the net. Otherwise, Glacier Peak's going to come away with a non-conference victory.
No, it's been an intense rivalry all night, Mark, like we said when we first started the match tonight, and it's definitely shown that tonight, and these last 11 minutes are going to be amazing for sure.
I mentioned Debbie viewing and observing us down there in Magnolia. She's got a birthday coming up on Sunday, so I'm going to wish Debbie Larson, my girlfriend, happy birthday
Debbie.
on Monday, September 5th. And my mom's is tomorrow. They're back-to-back days, September 4th. And thank you, Greg, for giving Mom a nice card when you came over before we shuttled up here, before the bus left.
I think it's awesome that the two most important ladies in your life are back-to-back birthdays. I think that's really special.
Yeah,
They should have made that easy
It's
on
a little
you.
expensive, but it's once you get past it, then you just have a couple of months to recover before Christmas.
At least you'll never forget the dates, that's for sure.
Not going to happen.
Not that they would let him.
No, not at all. So, yeah. Now, did you go to high school locally too?
I'm from the east side of the state.
Okay, let me see. Give me a hint.
Spokane.
Give me a hint. Spokane. Oh, so high school.
High school.
Okay, my dad's from
Yeah.
Spokane too. He went to West Valley. Did you go to that one?
I did not, but you're very close.
Okay, so you're from near Millwood, perhaps. Okay, so Central Valley?
Uh-huh.
You went to Central Valley?
I went to Central Valley.
From Veradale, right?
Yeah,
Is that
well,
where it's-
actually,
or in that-
I grew up next to East Valley High School, but
Okay.
I went to Central Valley High School.
Okay, they have a strong sports tradition. I know I've seen them many times at the high school girls basketball tournament.
Uh-huh. Yeah, basketball is big in Spokane. You know, you got Hoop Fest and a lot of great girls basketball team programs out there, AAU, and yeah, big basketball community in Spokane.
How was the soccer back then or nowadays? Do you know? Do you keep track of it at all?
Not a whole lot. You know, I didn't really start following soccer until I went to Seattle U and made friends with a lot of the guys on the team.
Oh.
Yeah.
I went to
Well, Snohomish just keeping on top of it. Oh,
that
nice
was
job.
a beautiful save.
It sure was. And with the shot that time was Celia Forster. She's the freshman midfielder, and in goal is Sammy Fatkin, the senior goalkeeper for Glacier Peak. That's a goal saver right there. That would have tied it up.
Great save by Sammy. That was awesome.
Yeah, she jumped up for that. She really reached high.
And when you decided to go to college, what was it about Seattle U that stood out as to why you wanted to go there?
You know, originally I was looking at the University of Portland, and I was looking for a really small community, not necessarily Jesuit, but that's sort of how it ended up. And, you know, just sort of looking for somewhere where I could really explore the city that the college was in. Visited Seattle U because it was competition school with Portland.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
One step on campus, and I told my mom, I'm home.
And I know that feeling. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when you find a good fit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was so
Which
great.
is how we feel working for STSPN. We have to get
I
that in
see
there.
what you did there.
No, I didn't mean to do that. It just popped in my head. We got to make him feel good from time to time. Anyway, Glacier Peak trying to extend their lead. They're up 2-1.
Snohomish keeper coming out of the box there for that one.
Yeah, it was a good job. Kick that out, clear that ball. They're definitely attacking on both ends.
Coming to the 8-minute to go mark here in the second half against soccer, 2 40-minute halves, and then that wraps it. So we have soccer coming up on Tuesday. We'll tell you about that here in just a bit. And Amy, so now in your ever-increasing view and knowledge of soccer and coaching of it, what do you think they're going to possibly do here down the stretch? These two teams, well, obviously they want to try to score a goal. Snohomish wants to tie this up, but did you, when say you were at the Bigfoot tournament, do you have a strategy or something you might have to try Snohomish do to tie this one up?
Well, Snohomish is down here with 7.5 left in the second half. You know, they're really going to try to push it towards the goal, you know, play some long balls up there, really try to keep it on their offensive half of the field. So that means that Glacier Peak's defense is really going to have to step it up and you know, outwit those Snohomish forwards.
I don't know about you, Mark, but I think Whitney needs to start going into college coaching or high school coaching. Because
I agree.
I mean, she does a
We know that
job.
Amy is going to keep her busy with Snohomish United, so she'll get plenty of apprenticeship going on right there. All right, Glacier Peak gets the ball back.
Oh.
Ooh, knocked down right there, you know, and some of that incidental contact as the Snohomish player just a little tight on her. That's Rachel Grome.
Yeah, sometimes on those fouls, it's just they're so intense, both going for the ball and.
Got a substitution for Glacier Peak, too.
Yeah, women's soccer especially, I feel like, is more brutal than the men's soccer. You know, they really go out there with.
They don't lighten up, I'll tell you that right
no,
there.
they go for it. And
really seeing that tonight. And one of the things I'm looking forward to is announcing more high school soccer. I've been doing either college or pros a lot through the past few years. And that's one of I wanted to get back doing this and being involved here with the STSPN, is that there has been no softness in this game.
No.
These players, right from the get-go, have been going at it physically, ethically. I mean, they've been playing as sports persons, but they have not let up at all.
no,
It's been really
not
good.
At all.
I do want to mention that we will have a game coming your way here, and that will be on Tuesday on STSPN. It's soccer right here from Snohomish High School. That is a 7:30 start. I think he's passed the audition that I'm going to try to talk Greg into coming on Tuesday, and I think you've done a great job. So I had a hunch that would be the case, but that will be on Tuesday, and that will be at 7:30. We'll go on just a couple of minutes before that, and it will be Bellingham playing against Snohomish, another non-league game for the Snohomish Panthers against Bellingham High School.
It's a long drive for a
them.
soccer game.
Yeah, not too bad for us. But so they'll be here, and that gets started a half hour later than this one today. Then also coming up going to be involved in this on the 8th. That is on Thursday. Non-league game featuring the Redmond Mustangs against the Snohomish Panthers. We're going inside for that one. That'll be volleyball right here on STSPN. And then on Friday night, Snohomish Panthers against the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. High school football. Are you kidding me? That is going to be a great matchup right here at Veterans Memorial Stadium as that one gets underway. That's a 7 o'clock start. They'll get on the air just a little bit. What's that there? You think it's sold out?
High school
yeah,
game.
I would
Wow.
not be a bit surprised. I know I've done that game, I think, about 3 times, and it is jammed. I'll tell you, Whitney, it is packed, this whole place. And, I mean, we got a good crowd here tonight, too.
Yeah.
But they're up on the grass and everything like that, so it is a fun night out. Okay, 4:10 to go in the second half. Grizzlies lead 2-1, trying to preserve that lead. And any person who's around soccer a long time will tell you a 2-1 lead is the most dangerous lead.
It is, yeah. Very easy to come back from one of those. One goal can equalize it, and anything can happen in overtime.
Yeah. Greg, I want to make sure I'm getting you enough on here enough. Anything, chime in at any time.
No, Glacier Peak right now just needs to control the ball.
Whoa, there's a nice
Oh.
shot right there. Comes out of the hands of the goalkeeper. That was straight on bullet.
Sammy's done a great job in the goal tonight. She's really saved this game for Glacier Peak.
She sure has done a great job. And that brings us to another topic, and that would be that we will be presenting the player of the game, the Western Conference 2016 Player of the Game T-shirt after the game. And it is run that Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game. That's the Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game. They have outdone themselves this year with these T-shirts. Those are beauties. The Player of the Game gets one of these great T-shirts. You got how all the places that we're tied in with WIAA, West Coast Sports, Fox Sports 1380, Champion Security Solutions, also McDaniel's Do It Center. Everybody's on board this T-shirt, and so we will award the Player of the Game. Now, I'm going to check with Todd. Can we bring that player up here for a post-game interview? We can do that. Okay, that has been authorized. So,
We'll have to get the one there to run down again.
the which one there? The one in the middle?
Yeah.
That would be Greg, showing his athleticism earlier for getting us the official goal scorers. So, Greg, I think we're not sure yet. We're gonna have to wait until we're because unless somebody this one hasn't been decided yet. I think I kind of like the idea of the Glacier Peak goalkeeper as an idea. That would be Sammy Fatkin. And then on the other side of the coin, that they've scored two different goal scorers, and just we've seen some excellent play out there by both sides, and especially the Snohomish team being as young as they are.
Yeah, we'll see what happens these last 2 minutes. It's not over yet.
So we are in the final 2 minutes. Time is being kept on the field. And Snohomish taking a crank at it right there with the shot bounding away. That was Celia Forster. Celia's played a good match out here tonight. She's just a freshman, so this is her first varsity game. We're going to corner kick. This ought to be interesting. Over on the right side is Snohomish trying desperately as we're nearing about a minute to go. And it looks like Celia's going to take it over on the right side. Yes, she is. So just a freshman, very much involved in the mix. Here comes the kick towards the middle, and that is going to be fought for. Snohomish needs to make it happen here. They're running out of time. Oh, that went high over the goal. Nice try right there over on the right side by the Snohomish player.
They went with the quick kick on the corner kick. Try to catch them off guard, but it didn't work right there.
That time for Snohomish taking the shot was Anna Monomore. She scored the goal for Snohomish earlier in this half. So just a little bit high that time, and you got the goal kick coming up. Less than a minute to go here in the second half, and the cross-town rivalry between Snohomish and Glacier Peak. And what do you think here? If it holds, do we want to go with Sammy Fatkin? Chime in, whoever.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
wide
I
open.
think she's had some great saves
Yeah,
this game.
she really
you
has.
know, could potentially have contributed to that being just a 2-1 game.
Exactly.
She'd get my vote, too. She has a great foot on her. I don't know if you've been watching, but her kicks have just been almost to midfield each time, which a lot of our college goalies don't do that sometimes.
Yeah, she does have a good, strong leg. And so if it holds, we're going to go ahead and have Sammy Fatkin on, a senior goalkeeper for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, who's gone the full 80 here tonight, and this one just seconds away from being official. Snohomish still has a shot at it, but they have to make it happen quickly.
Glacier Peak taking their time. They're playing smart right now.
Definitely.
One last chance. Will they get one in?
That's it. Not going to happen, as the Glacier Peak Grizzlies have defeated the Snohomish Panthers 2-1 here at Snohomish Veterans Memorial Stadium. And we are going to go ahead and have Greg head on down to the field. Greg, thanks so much for doing this. I know it wasn't in the job description, but there's a lot of stuff like that. We're corporate now at STSPN that's not in the job description. So, what's that? Todd? Do you want to talk? Can we go down there with the?
Take that with you.
Go ahead. If you want to do it from down there, that would be great. And go ahead. Do we take a break? Why don't you take a quick break? Let's take a quick break that we can get all on the same page here and go from there. This is STS.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Welcome back. We are at Snohomish High School, just wrapping up here on STSPN.com. I'm Mark Aucutt, and Greg Sempedian is going down to the field to get an interview with our player of the game, who is Sammy Fatkin, the goalkeeper for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. We're going to be hearing from here very shortly as he makes his way across the field. Also, Whitney Volosky, who's been a very great guest here. Amy Mikulski was on with us earlier. Her daughter plays for Glacier Peak High School, and Whitney involved with Snohomish United. And I tell you, you said during the break there that this is new to you to come on the air, and you did a great job. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Gave us a lot of information, your background, and we have hopefully sell soccer. I think we sold a little bit, sold up Seattle University too on the virtues of the school. But I know we're going to have Greg talking here to our player of the game, Sammy Fatkin. But she did a great job in goal.
She did, yeah.
And that's something that you love to see, that effort for the full 80 minutes out there. And both these teams gave that effort. I know that, yeah. There you go. Look at them. As Greg has the T-shirt, Sammy's going to be there. That's great. We got to go ahead. We're going to have the interview coming up here. Yeah, I guess she's going to come out there hopefully, and we got to wait for the team to wrap up. So we'll get to Greg here in just a minute as we have the interview with the player of the game. But one of the things we try to do is really involve the different, try to get the players in the mix as much as possible, the coaches, everyone we can to, we just want to have a full experience. That's why with the player of the game T-shirts and the interviews, we try to put that all together for them.
Yeah, I think that that's great, especially young players like this. It's great to really reward them for doing a great job, something outside of just accolades from their teammates and their
just
coaches.
To call out, we get here's something, and Todd and I, we've talked about this quite a few times, is that they take a lot of pride in wearing that T-shirt. Like on Monday, or now this time with Labor Day, it'll be Tuesday morning. They'll be out there wearing that T-shirt.
That's great.
So
yeah.
it's a fun award to give out, and some of them accumulate a few through the years. And again, Todd putting things together, just laid out beautifully right there, just like my future media pass for STSPN, so I don't have to keep using the Fox Sports KXA. Not that I mind that one at all, but I think at this point in time, one needs to be made, and I can get a picture to him ASAP. All right, that being said, I was going to say off air, but since we have him right here, I said it on air. So anyway, he'll have that for me by Tuesday. Okay, let's take a look here as the goal scoring. Let's see, Greg's going to do the interview here. So
looks like they're walking out right
we're going to
now.
bring him across the way, and he's going to have a chance to talk to her. So we're going to go right there. Actually, we don't have headsets on him. So, look at her putting that T-shirt on.
She's excited
She
about that
is making it happen. That you couldn't have scripted that better. As there she comes right there, and that is our player of the game, Sammy Fatkin, who's you get a big smile on her face. She did a great job in goal. I like she's sporting the purple real nice, too. Oh, the Huskies ought to take a look at her. So go ahead. We're going to go with Greg on the field right now. So go ahead, Greg. You're all set to go right there. Yes. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
Very proud to have our first player of the year, player of the game tonight for STSPN, Sammy Fatkin, after a great rivalry win tonight, 2-1 over Snohomish. I want to get your thoughts on the game and hear all about what you thought out there when you were out there with the team.
Thank you, first of all. My teammates were great. We came out hard. We fought hard. We never gave up. And they came back and got that next goal, and we replied really quickly. So I'm proud of my teammates for that.
That's great. You guys, that we were talking about the focus that's so important. And as soon as Snohomish scored, you guys came right back and got the go-ahead goal. And you did a tremendous job in the box. And we were talking up in the box also with the great foot you have when you're with the goal kicks and everything. Just really proud to watch you play tonight. And why don't you give us a little preview on your team and for the rest of the season and how you feel like the team is going to do this year?
I feel like we're going to have a pretty good season. Our goal is just to come out hard every game. Take one game at a time and not take anyone for granted.
That's great. You were just telling me a little bit that you're hoping to go play college basketball. Why don't you give us a little preview on that and your thoughts on college basketball? I was hoping you'd go and continue playing soccer, but I hope you have a great soccer career and tell the fans what you're going to be doing after you're done playing in high school.
After high school, I just committed to the University of Arizona to go play basketball down there, so I'm pretty excited.
That's great. Another Northwest legend up here, Adia Barnes, and she'll be your coach there, and we're really proud to have you there.
Cool.
And congratulations on a great win tonight, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care. Thank you, Sammy.
All right, Greg, great job there on the field. So for scratch the UW thing, she's going to the University of Arizona, and I'll see her at Alaska Airlines Arena when she plays the Huskies. And Adia Barnes was, as he referred to, was the assistant coach for the Washington Huskies, and they went to the Final Four this past year. She played at Arizona. She's taking over that program, and it's going to be interesting because Sammy Fatkin will be playing with Taryn Griffey, who is the daughter of Ken Griffey Jr., who plays for the University of Arizona. But, you know, what I see and what I pick up, do you have him down there, Todd? Because I'm picking up some of the signal. That's just not on the air? Okay. Anyway, so but just to put that out there is that you can see with Sammy, she is a really good athlete. Not just a good goalkeeper, but a good athlete. She's got the size and everything of she's got the athleticism.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that reach that she got up there to save that last attempt on goal for Snohomish. And, that's got to be her basketball skills there coming through, jumping up there and saving that shot. She'll be using that when she's rebounding balls for Arizona. Yeah,
absolutely. So we look forward to seeing her career move forward as well. And we're going to wrap it up. Just want to give you the goal scoring for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies and the Snohomish Panthers. As for Glacier Peak, Taylor Brom scored the very first goal for them, and that was in the 38th minute into the first half with about a little under 3 minutes to go in that one. So it was 1-0 at halftime, and then in the second half, Snohomish able to come through with a goal, and that was at the 25-minute mark as coming through with the goal for them for the Snohomish Panthers. Again, checking on that was I thought we had that written down. But anyway.
Number 8?
Yeah, number 8. That's right. Thank you. Anna Monomore coming through with the goal. And then Glacier Peak a minute later getting what turned out to be the clincher, and that was Haley Grambo, the sophomore forward, coming through and scoring with about 24 minutes to go in that second half, and that's the difference in the game. Final score, Glacier Peak 2, Snohomish 1. Again, thank you very much, Whitney Volosky, Amy Mikulski, and Greg Sampedian
so much for having us.
for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back on Tuesday, as that will be Bellingham against Snohomish right here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We get started about 7:28, and we get the first kick about 7:30. And again, thank you so much for viewing, and we'll be talking to you all season long on STSPN.com, your home for high school and college sports in Snohomish County and the world. Mark Aucutt saying good night.